doing that.
What's my question? What's your
because
question?
Because you don't really want to hear it.
No, go ahead. I will give you space to speak. Go ahead.
Then you will let me.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, if you could live anywhere,
right,
from North Africa all the way to, we left out Uzbekistan, you could live there, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Oh,
none of the above.
And,
none of them.
Or Tel Aviv.
None of them. Literally none of them.
But if you had to choose one, you would. So to you, Karachi, Pakistan, and Tel Aviv, same thing.
I would figure something out, but
that's powerful, not as smart as I know you are. Politician, you're avoiding the question.
No, I'm being as super honest as I can be.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
100% I'm being honest with you.
No. Because the question is, if you had to pick a city, and you're not answering that question, you're doing what politicians are doing and saying, I don't want to live in any of them. I want to live in America. That's not the question.
Ana Kasparian's woke perspective was completely dismantled by Bill Maher, and he didn't pull any punches. The contradictions she had been hiding for years were exposed in full view. Ana Kasparian often shows more concern for other countries than her own, painting America as the constant villain and blaming it for a long list of global problems. But Bill doesn't let that kind of ideological carelessness slide. With precision and speed, he tore through her arguments like a hot knife through butter. Buckle up, this debate is about to get intense.
To live in the Middle East, so tomorrow, Anna, you got to go live in the Middle East. Where would you live? You can pick one city. Any city. You can, as far away as, say, Pakistan. You could live in Karachi. You could live in Cairo. You could live in Amman, Jordan. You seem to love Lebanon. I mean, Beirut's nice when the bombing's not happening and the assassinations have stopped. Or you could live in Syria. I hear that's wonderful in the summer.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv or the West Bank, Ramallah. I think is wonderful for like a little. In the fall, it gets lovely. Where would you live? What city would you live in?
Well,
where do you think you'd be comfortable in that dress?
I'm sure it would not be comfortable in this.
It definitely wouldn't fit in this dress. In search of a genuine answer, Bill Maher calmly asks Ana Kasparian where in the Middle East she would most prefer to live. If you know Ana Kasparian, you already understand her tendency to hold America responsible for nearly every regional dispute, as if the US personally micromanages decades of conflicts. This kind of scenario is nothing new to Bill Maher. He crafted the question with intent, prompting her to name a country where she could live safely, freely, and comfortably while dressed the way she was that day. It was a calculated and skillful move. Now the only question left is simple. Can Ana Kasparian talk her way out of this one?
Would not be comfortable in this dress in any of the various Middle Eastern countries that have been destabilized by
you're not really blaming it on Whitey.
Listen.
Are you? You're blaming Islam on Whitey?
I'm not blaming Islam on Whitey.
What you're saying is we destabilized, that's why you can't wear that dress?
Did we not destabilize?
Wait a second.
We were funding terrorist organizations in Syria during the Syrian civil war. Starting under the Obama administration.
That's why
Did that not destabilize Syria?
No, what's destabilized?
Why? It looks good. I know it looks good.
Why you're saying you can't wear that dress in Syria because of Whitey destabilizing?
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's what it said.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, great.
But the United States did destabilize various Middle Eastern countries. Are you going to deny that?
I asked about the dress, and you went right to destabilize.
This is exactly what happens when a worldview built on shaky far-left assumptions is forced into reality. In real time, Ana Kasparian's stance started to collapse. The ideas she had championed for years suddenly became far too difficult to defend. Bill Maher asked a simple, direct question. Where in the Middle East would you feel comfortable wearing that dress? It was clear, straightforward, and impossible to answer without exposing the weaknesses in her narrative. She dodged the question. Rather than respond, Ana Kasparian shifted to blaming America for the region's instability. A familiar diversion, predictable and completely irrelevant. And if you assumed that was the only moment she struggled under pressure, brace yourself. It wasn't.
That's why you couldn't wear that dress. Why couldn't you wear that dress? Why couldn't you walk down?
You want me to talk about jihadism and Islam, but like...
Why won't you?
Listen...
Why won't you?
I mean,
Are you saying every Muslim is a jihad? I don't think they are.
Bill.
Okay, why can't you wear that dress?
Let's focus for a second.
No, you won't answer this question.
I'm not going to defend that religion, like that extremist religion at all.
Why can't you just
that's
say?
Not what this discussion is about. This discussion is about.
No, it's very much when it's about.
I've never seen Ana Kasparian fidget like that before. In that moment, her discomfort was unmistakable. As she searched for a safer angle, it felt like watching her move the goalpost in real time. She sidestepped the obvious point that strict cultural dress codes in many countries would make it difficult, while her expression gave away her unease. Bill Maher immediately picked up on her hesitation and topic shifts, yet remained composed, refusing to cater to her ideological comfort zones. He pushed for a clear, honest answer, and as Ana Kasparian grew increasingly unsettled, it became clear he wasn't there to cushion feelings, but to reveal inconsistencies.
Israel, it'll stop.
Okay.
But the fact that you can't answer that question, and you know that
I don't know what the question is. What's the question?
You keep doing that.
What's my question? What's your
because
question?
Because you don't really want to hear it.
No, go ahead. I will give you space to speak. Go ahead.
Then you will let me.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, if you could live anywhere,
right,
from North Africa all the way to, we left out Uzbekistan, you could live there, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh.
None of the above.
And,
none of them.
Or Tel Aviv.
None of them. Literally none of them.
But if you had to choose one, you would. So to you, Karachi, Pakistan, and Tel Aviv, same thing.
I would figure something out, but
that's powerful, not as smart as I know.
Bill Maher made a bold move. The moment he noticed Ana Kasparian dodging the question, he confronted her without hesitation. Known for his sharp and precise critiques that leave no room for spin, he zeroed in instantly. Ana Kasparian knew exactly why she was avoiding the answer. She couldn't simply enter countries with strict dress codes without facing legal or cultural consequences. Admitting this openly, however, would have handed Bill Maher the perfect gotcha moment, exposing the contradiction in her argument. Rather than confront the reality, she tried to sidestep, evade, and dance around the issue. Bill Maher wasn't impressed. His expression made that clear. He caught her avoidance and ensured the audience understood the danger in pretending the truth doesn't exist. His judgment was firm, direct, and unmistakable.
I'm Armenian. I have literal family members who currently live in Iran. I have no love for the Iranian regime. Let me be clear about that.
I left out Tehran. Would you like to live there?
Hold on. But let me just say something.
Tel Aviv, Tehran.
There is so much disinformation. Armenian Christians who are part of the Armenian diaspora as a result of the 1915 genocide against Armenians.
I know it.
They're living in Iran right now. They're going to church. They're being left alone by the Ayatollah, as awful as the Ayatollah is. So look, I'm not saying I would want to live in Iran. I don't want to live anywhere in the Middle East. I want to live here in the United States of America, the greatest freaking country in the world.
You're like a politician. You're avoiding the question.
No, I'm being as super honest as I can be.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
100% I'm being honest.
Hello, everyone. What do you think? In my view, Ana Kasparian isn't being truthful. Not even a little. Bill Maher is spot on. She's starting to sound more like a seasoned politician dodging a debate question than a commentator. She keeps sidestepping, drifting into irrelevant topics, hoping no one notices. But we all do. This classic tactic shows up when someone knows that a straightforward answer would expose a flaw in their worldview. Like Bill Maher, we shouldn't let it slide. Instead of facing the facts, she floods the conversation with distractions, hoping the noise will bury the real issue. The discussion was heated, intense, and honestly very revealing. And this is just the beginning. We're only getting started.
You wouldn't last a week in the other places, and you could easily live in Tel Aviv. So if you don't think that speaks of a difference between cultures and civilizations, then okay, we'll leave it there. But I promise you it does. And if you had to actually do that, I think you would agree with me.
I think given my very harsh and vociferous criticisms of the Israeli government, I probably wouldn't feel so safe living in Tel Aviv right now under this government. Under this government.
First of all, they have free speech there, so it would not be an issue. But that is a side issue. We're not really talking about. We'll just
Bill,
say just a person, not you with your vociferous talking out. Just a regular,
right.
A woman of your age.
I'm sure a woman of my age who grew up in the Western world would probably feel the most comfortable in Tel Aviv. I will concede that.
Eventually, Bill Maher managed to get Ana Kasparian to admit that she would prefer living in Tel Aviv over other countries in the region. There was plenty of dodging, sidestepping, and rhetorical maneuvering along the way, but in the end, the truth came out. When Bill Maher finally guided her to the answer, you could almost hear her exhale, not to win, but to acknowledge reality. Credit where it's due, he persisted, asking the question until her facade finally cracked. Convincing someone so deeply tied to an ideology to admit an uncomfortable truth, especially one that clashes with their public stance, is no small feat. This wasn't just a debate win for Bill Maher. It was a rare moment of ideological openness on television.
Kids. And I don't want to be called a birthing person. I find it super insulting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you never will be.
And that doesn't mean I hate trans people or I want to take rights away from trans. It just means this is my preference. So AOC used birthing people or birthing person.
Of course.
And it was in the context of women's reproductive rights being stripped away from them by the Supreme Court. So I'm already pretty furious about what had just happened in the Supreme Court and the reversal of rights that we've had for decades. And then on top of that, you have AOC referred to women as birthing people because she wants to be inclusive. And yeah, I had a little bit of a moment where I was just like, please don't call me on X, Twitter at the time. Please don't call me a birthing person. I'm a woman. I want to be called.
I want to be referred to as a woman. Here's another example of a leftist critiquing the woke talking points of a fellow liberal. Honestly, it's fascinating to watch. When Ana Kasparian called out AOC for using the term birthing people on Twitter, chaos erupted online. The moment went viral, and the left found itself tangled in debates over what defines a woman without offending their ideological peers. It was one of the most erratic, chaotic periods on the internet, full of inconsistencies, euphemisms, and outrage. Ana Kasparian's attempts to push back only added fuel to the fire. Ironically, that clash also became a turning point. The absurdity of the verbal gymnastics was laid bare for everyone to see. Thankfully, we've at least partially moved beyond that stage, yet the memory of that meltdown remains vivid. And watching Ana Kasparian wrestle with it now is even more compelling.
Complaints about the left has been the one true opinion. There is the one true opinion.
Yeah.
And when you deviate from that, it's so ironic. The people who absolutely hate bullies so much are the biggest fucking bullies in the world.
100%.
And they just want to bully you back into the corral.
Yeah, and you can't do that with me.
And you definitely can't do it with me.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, they'll love some of what you said there because, the useful idiots, this is the thing that they love, and the people who are marching for the terrorists and stuff. But
Bill, you want to go back there?
No, I don't.
This time, Bill Maher isn't backing down at all. He's clearly reached his limit after watching the left push woke culture into every corner of public life for years. Once you start rejecting their ever-changing worldview, the pattern becomes obvious. They come after you, putting enormous effort into making sure everyone follows the same set of beliefs, where any hint of disrespect is treated as betrayal. Bill Maher, however, has never been one to follow the herd. He's noticed the movement's drift toward ideological absolutism and refuses to pretend it all makes sense. Instead, he confronts it directly, without caution or sugarcoating. That's what makes it so compelling. He isn't intimidated. He isn't apologizing. And he's standing up to the outrage machine. By holding his ground, Bill Maher exposes the true fragility of the woke bubble.
This is basic 101, and this is again to my point about, if I just listed, and I could do it for a long time, the things that they do because they're so tripped up by their own
Orthodox
ideology that they think that makes them a better person, to be so counterintuitive.
That's the reality. The left has built an inflated sense of moral superiority, acting as if following trendy ideological rules makes them the ultimate arbiters of truth. For years, they've pushed illogical beliefs on the public, often defying common sense. As Bill Maher pointed out, preaching tolerance while forcing everyone to adopt your worldview only pushes people away. Coming from within the same ideological sphere, Bill Maher calls out this absurdity, exposing the arrogance behind the woke mindset. In the end, he revealed the cracks in Ana Kasparian's worldview through persistence and debate. Bill Maher wasn't afraid to show how the story fell apart. That wraps up today's video. Like and subscribe if you want more, and see you next time.